In this video, we're going to give you an overview of Ting, very famous aspect of Tai Chi. Now, we are going to look at how to actually train it later on in another course, especially in the pushing hand section. But this video is going to give you an overview of the theory and idea behind Ting. Now, Ting is most often described as listening or listening skill. And that is actually a very, very good way for us to think about this aspect of Tai Chi. Listening is the process of receiving and processing information. And that is a really good description of what Ting is. It is the listening to various aspects of our opponent or partner and then processing that information so that we may use it in a variety of ways or take advantage of the information that we receive. If you think about how we listen to somebody, we need to be in the moment, firstly. We need to be actually aware of what they are saying to us as they say it. And it's very hard if our mind is elsewhere to absorb what someone is saying, okay? So the first sort of portion of Ting is around awareness. It's around the awareness of the ever-changing conditions of the conversation between you, your opponent or partner. Now, linked to that is the sensitivity to the information that we are getting. And to be fully receptive and sensitive to the information, we have to train our body using the solo training, the Neigong, the quality of Song, all of these things to produce a body that is capable and a mind and an intent that are capable of being sensitive to these ever-changing conditions and the information that is being fed to us. So listening is a very good descriptor for this process of information gathering that is so vital in Tai Chi. Without good information, it's hard to mount good defense and attack. So Tai Chi really zones in on that idea of information gathering, and as we perform Tai Chi, as we interact with partners or opponents, we are constantly looking to improve the information that we receive, and that is the development of Ting. Now, Ting is often thought of to be, okay, this person's pushing on me, I want to feel the strength in their body, the position of their body, and the direction of their force. And of course, that is a small but important part of Ting. But actually, it also encompasses things like observing posture, observing movement and position and attitude. All of these things, gathering information, could be thought of as Ting. So in this video, we're going to look at how we can apply Ting and how it fits into various situations. As I say, we will be looking at it in much more detail in later parts of the course, and especially how we can train it with partners. Okay, so at its most basic level, Ting, or listening skill, is simply the recognition of direction of force, okay? And we often see this, and we'll look at this later in the course, in pushing hands and various drills to make us able to recognize it. But to explain it as a fundamental, if you just put this hand up, if I am touching Eli and he is providing a force to me, I need to be sensitive to the amount of force that he's providing, and then I can act, okay? So Ting is actually this. Ting isn't simply to move with their movement, okay? And this is quite a misrepresented concept. We often see that if you push towards me, that this is Ting, that I'm just listening and adapting at the same time. And sure, there's plenty of drills that encompasses, and we feel pressure and we feel movement. But actually, it is in any position of touch where I am in contact and I can feel the directions that he is producing, that is Ting. That is the information gathering that I just spoke about. Okay? So it's not in him pushing and me being sensitive and moving around. Okay? It's not in that. That's something different. Okay? That's following, all right, which is slightly different. So Ting is in the information gathering, feeling what his body is doing. Now, that's the most basic level, okay? And we can apply that in lots of different ways. We can apply that if he punches towards me and I touch, this information that I get from the touch, this is Ting, okay? And it may be that when he punches and I cover, I create a connection into his body and I listen to what he's telling me about his strength. And that is Ting, okay? It's not this, go. It's not this, yeah? This is Ting and following, okay? So this is different. Ting is in the information gathering phase, the listening phase. What is he telling me about his body, about his force, his intent, his energy? Where is he focusing his mind? Is he lost his mind because he's so aggressive? You know, these are things that I listen to. So another way that we can look at Ting, which is extremely useful for fighting, especially if it's a one-on-one encounter like sport fighting, is if we both are in a fighting position. Okay, so we're both like this. And the first thing that I can do is observe and become aware of what his posture is telling me. This information gathering process, the listening skill of Ting. And I can take in from the top of his head to the sole of his foot, I can take in the position and angle of his body, and I get a natural sense after some time of training of where his force is. Okay, what is his movement likely to be? So this is another way that I can use Ting in a fighting application or a fighting situation. Now, from here, I can ask him a question. Okay, just like listening, I ask a question, I listen to the response. So my question might be this. Okay, I might make an angle on him. We may be moving and I may make an angle on him and see what his answer is. And if his answer is a good movement, then that's a good thing for me to know. If I make an angle on him and he stays where he is, that's a good thing to know because I can kick him in the balls. Yeah, so it's a question and answer situation, and the answering phase that he gives me and me listening and absorbing and acting in a completely natural state, this is Ting. Now, similarly, I can ask a question where I get myself into the useful range for Tai Chi. So I can ask a question where I advance on him, okay, and see what his natural response is. So his natural response was to move his head away from the big slap and to cover, okay, which is a completely natural response. And this now gives me a contact point, and it gives me access to his structure, okay, from here. It also gives me an impression about where he's hollowing and where he's projecting. Where is the density in his body and where's the hollowing? So he's hollowed here, for instance. This is an easy place for me to attack. And obviously it would be in flow. But it gives me this ability to find out about him. And that's exactly what Ting Jin is. Okay? So I can come in like this, yeah? Okay, now I've got him. And now I can start my process of attacking and off-balancing and everything that I want to do to win the exchange. All right? So it's important to know that Ting is not following. It's not to follow what they say. When we are listening to someone, we don't just go along with what they tell us. Yeah? We process the information and then we answer them. Okay? And it may be that we disagree with each other. All right? So, of course, interaction between two people is different, and it's just a model for understanding the concept. But we want to be gathering information, and that is in the touch, it is in the visual acuity of our position, it's in recognizing and balancing movement, and that gathering of information and how we do that, that is Ting Jin, okay? Now, the final thing to say is that we have to be very, very sensitive to their movement, their power, their position, their structure, their posture, in order to be able to hear properly, to listen properly. If someone's talking to me and I'm humming away or making noises, I can't hear what they're saying. And that is the same as if I touch, but I'm very stiff and I'm not sensitive. So he may be giving me force, but I don't feel it because I'm too tense myself, or I'm too strong myself, and I can't really perceive what he's doing. That is another important part of Ting, is the sensitivity. Is that when I touch, I want to touch with just the amount which gives me all of the information, but doesn't give him anything about me, okay? And doesn't block anything that he wants to do, all right? If I start to hum over the top of his words, I'm not going to hear them, okay? So remember, Ting is that moment of finding, of listening. It is not the moment of following, okay? That's different. And this skill is fundamental to Tai Chi. It's one of the core skills of Tai Chi because it gives us everything we need to know in order to enact the master strategy, the unbalance the opponent, and then apply a fight-ending technique.